controller, and also the goggles.
Oh my god.
And you'd think after all that time, I would have found my go-to drone. But I've yet to find one. Like any sport, the tools you use can vary wildly, each bending to the athlete's needs. And nowhere is that more true than an FPV. There are so many shapes, sizes, power systems, goggles, and setups that completely change the experience. When you're flying through the eyes of the drone, your setup needs to feel natural, like an extension of yourself. Everyone has their own idea of what feels right in their hands. And I've never found mine. So I decided to change that and build a frame that finally felt mine. But what would a drone like this actually need to have? Well, first, durability. I want to crash this thing as much as I want and rarely need to do big repairs. Smaller size. That way I can have more options for obstacles and flying locations. Spacious and a well thought out user experience. I am sick of drones that are so tight on the inside that it's a pain to build, or even just do a small replacement. Looks. Nobody wants to fly an ugly drone, and so I want to bring some class with a touch of abstract design to this drone without compromising on the quality. This set of qualities is not just a drone that scratches my own itch, but something I think is missing in most drones. So I want to show you guys the most exciting thing I've ever made. This is Ether FPV's first drone, the Archetype. So this is a 3D print of the concept we've settled on. We've also got this one, just slight iterations between them, but fundamentally they're the same drone. So it's a 4-inch drone, which is a step below a 5-inch drone, which I know there's like a 1-inch difference between them, but it's a pretty big difference when you put them side by side. And the main reason that I've chosen 4-inch is just so it's a bit more portable, but I also made the frame so it also fits 4.5-inch propellers for whenever you need a little bit of extra punch. Now, that might not sound like much, but that incremental increase in prop size translates to significant difference in power. And that's the size side of things, but what really makes this design interesting is how durable it is. See, if we have a look at the design here, if we look at the arms, they're actually 6 millimeters thick. And for reference, that is incredibly thick. Even for a lot of 5-inch drones, you're more likely to see it around 5 mil, but not 6 mil. The goal here is to reinforce the sections that break the most, but it's also not the only measure that was taken to increase durability. See, carbon comes in lots of different grades. I want you to imagine a graph. On one axis, you have the grade of carbon, and on the other axis, you have strength, and there's a very direct correlation here. On the lower side, you have your T300 carbon. This is still incredibly strong, it's versatile and easy to make, and most drones will fall here because most of the time this will be good enough. It gives a good middle ground between price and crash resistance. On the other end of the spectrum, you have T800 and T1100. These have extremely high carbon content, and so they have incredibly high strength, but at this high strength, they become very prone to shattering with impact. It's also worth noting that the higher you go on this scale, the more expensive it gets to make. So with the Archetype, we chose to take the material to a more durable T700 carbon, making it more durable than most drones, about 40% higher, without making it susceptible to shattering. Anyway, all of this culminated in this moment where I was going to see the first carbon version of this design. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. Yeah, I know this is probably like judging a book by its cover, but I think what it is the glossy finish is throwing me off. And because of that, I feel like it just feels a little cheap. I mean, it's sick, like the design is sick and everything, but I just feel like this is a long way from the final product. Well, that was honestly a bit of a letdown, but it wasn't all bad news because looking past how it looked temporarily, there was a solid foundation and I was able to come back with some more changes for the new prototype. So I think something that I've noticed is that 6 mil is overkill for this drone. And I think the weight is good. So I'm thinking what I should do is take 1 mil out of the arms and add 0.5 mil to the 2 bottom plates. So this one here and this one here. And then that way you get more of a solid sandwich between the arms. I think that's the way to go. With this prototype, things had improved massively. Oh, yes. That's miles better than the previous one. Man, that's so good. Look, so it's now a matte finish, and even with the thinner arms, it's just as strong. But how did this drone fly? Well, I have no idea. So this commenced a 2-week period of testing the drone pretty much every day. During this time, I noted down some changes which I thought would improve the user experience drastically. They were pretty simple, but I'm convinced that all these changes will make building a drone that much easier, ticking off the next requirement for this drone. And these are things like integrating the battery port to stop loose wires, making sure I have a list of every part you need to build the drone and then including it in the pack, cutouts to access every screw, things you probably wouldn't notice unless they were done wrong. With all that out of the way, I shifted my attention to the visual details. I passionately hate this like fluoro green that's used everywhere in FPV. Like, come on, I just feel like it just needs a bit more class. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're going with a mint green. Oh, also another thing we did is we removed a lot of carbon from low stress areas. So like some sections on the top plate, under the VTX, these areas normally won't get hit directly, so we can save a bit of weight here. Not knowing if this was going to look good, I commissioned the third prototype with all these changes. Thank you.
I'll take one more.
Thanks. Well, all these prototypes are getting very expensive, so I'm really hoping that this one is good. I'm a little nervous because this one's the one that's in that mint green color, and it was a little tricky to do because that mint green is going on plastic and like different types of metal. So I was warned that there could be some inconsistency between them, but I'm just hoping it's good. It looks so good. And the color is really consistent. Look at that. Bro, I know drones aren't like all about design, but no joke, this is the sexiest drone I've ever seen. 10 out of 10 would smash. That was kind of weird. All right, anyway. Speaking of smashing, let's do some crash testing. There's a few loose ends we need to double check, especially that we removed a lot of carbon. So I wanted to make sure that this updated design was just as solid. All right, so we're going to a park over here to test this out. It's not like the craziest place to test this. You know, there's a few trees and stuff, so it's not like a bando or anything. At the very least, it's gonna give us a really good indication of what this is gonna be like. Yeah, look at that. Oh, so clean. Oh my gosh. Nah, it's so sharp. I will say that I'm having so much fun with this drone. It's so like nimble and fast and like small enough to do like these really weird small gaps over here even. All right, let's try to do some bit more risky stuff. See if we can get a crash. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I don't really wanna just like deliberately crash it into a wall. No, we don't want to do that. If we try to do something that's just like dumb, kind of hard, I'm thinking we split as that like branch there and then try to like come under the table. Yeah, this isn't happening, but... Oh, yep, that's a bad crash. That was just a full-on head-on crash. And if we design this correctly, absolutely no issues. No snaps, no breaks, no cracks. Hey, you know what? Let's do some more dumb stuff. Let's see how much this can take. Oh, shoot. I want to be clear, I hate doing these crash tests, but they're necessary because we've got to find out if it's strong enough. How is this thing still okay? No cracks, no breaks, nothing. So impressed by this thing. Oh my gosh, it's unbreakable. You guys have no idea how good it feels to have a working drone that I've just spent months developing and a lot of money. Actually, you probably do because you've watched this entire video, you probably do have an idea. Now, my one concern is that I'm the only one that's flown this drone because, you know, I made it for me with my specs in mind that I wanted in a drone. And I'm wondering if other people are gonna like it as well. And, you know, if I've overlooked something and something needs to change in this, you know, we can still change it. So I think what I wanna do is I want to get some opinions on it. See what everyone else thinks about it.
What our version is up to?
This is the final one.
Oh, sick.
That's
clean, man.
Yeah, that's the brain.
Oh, it's pretty neat. That's actually really impressive. And you did all that? Like you got that all cut and everything?
Yeah.
Man, that's really impressive. That's clean as.
Cage is nice.
Yeah,
I like it. This is a good design, really good design.
Nice.
Hey, how's it going? You too.
It's actually really clean. I love the color. I love these.
Yeah.
Putting them in there. It feels super smooth, man. Really, really smooth.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting like any wobbles. Feels nice and smooth. Even like when I'm going like pretty fast.
Damn, you're gunning that, jeez. You dig it?
Oh, dude, it's actually really nice. When I'm flying, trying to just do like a cine line like this, and even at like high speeds, I'm not getting any weird motion or anything.
Despite the positive feedback, it wasn't perfect.
The only thing that I notice is when I let go of the stick,
Yeah.
it pushes forward. So that's what was putting me off a bit. So when I go like flat, it's actually pushing me forward.
Right.
So when you first take off, I'm pulling back a little bit just to keep my drone up. But then you'll notice if I let go of the stick, it pushes me into the ground like it wants to front flip.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so that pretty much wraps it all up. What do you think of the drone?
Dude, it's actually really nice to fly. Even though it wasn't tuned 100%, it actually felt really good.
All right, so we just need to figure out what this issue is with it, like tilting forward. What I suspect is it's something simple. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, look at that. Pretty much all it is this value here for this axis that it's rolling on is just higher than it's supposed to be. I'm just doing a calibration on the remote. So now it should take off more straight and not go forward. Oh, that's actually so much better. Nice, okay. So if that's all good, that means it's ready.